Just going to get my stream software set up briefly, and then we'll begin the video. Alright, looks like we're on. Just waiting for the feed to come through. It's a little bit of a delay with YouTube. There we go. Alright, so we're away. So, just carrying on from last stream. So, I've Elm Creek. So you can see we've had a bit of a change since the last stream. This area here has been cleared out, and we've reinstated some grass area. So that's basically just to give us a parking area for the moment. We have done some field realignment, so I've realigned this section down here and through here also. We've just finished a barley harvest, so we're sitting on a shite load of barley from this field. I've purchased a John Deere X9, so one of these guys here and one of these over here is leased, just because I felt like splurging $600,000 worth of money on equipment. So that's been a good addition to the farm. So we're currently just planning what we're going to do for June. So basically we've got wheat and barley to go back in potentially. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be the case. But what I am thinking now is I want to take this $400,000 that I've got and purchase some land. So I was thinking potentially field 40, so 177,000. Field 18 is also a good option, but I really want to start to try and purchase these fields here. So fields 7, 6, etc. I'm just at this stage, so maybe field 7, maybe field 6, and start building out the fields through here. I want to eventually get field 19 as well. It's obviously quite expensive though, so 372,000, and eventually want to purchase all these fields up here as well. So got a few options there. So what I'm thinking is potentially, if we have a look at, I reckon field, let's go field 7, so let's buy that. Field 6, and we'll basically leave it there for the moment. So let's go and check out what we've got in those fields. So it looks like to be carrots or parsnips or something similar, and that I can't tell from just looking at it. So let's it's wheat by the looks of it. Cool. So we've got some wheat growing, so that's going to be harvestable September. Cool. All right, that's good to know. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and sleep. Just check our used vehicle sales. Nothing in there at the moment. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to plant a different crop in this main field. So I'm going to wait until probably next year and do a run of oats, I think, because that's something I don't have a lot of at the moment. So I think that'd be ideal. Now, one thing I want to do is check in on the property income. So 13,000, so it's a little bit low. So something to keep an eye on. All right, can we get? I don't think this wheat's ready to harvest. Oh, it is ready to harvest. Okay, cool. Let's grab a combine. One of these guys should be empty, hopefully. And we're just going to drive on over and get this wheat up. So I'll just drive straight over there. So if you're just joining the stream, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I do have chat open. So obviously big news in the farming simulator community at the moment as well, with the announcement of FS25. So we've had a lot of information drop over the last week, which is pretty exciting. So we are in for some exciting times ahead, I think. So I wonder if I'll sell. I'm going to sell field 40. I'm going to flip that. Where are we? So sell that for what I paid for it, and I'm going to harvest field 52 as well. Cool. And can we afford... Oh, hang on. Is that worker going to crush my crop? Nope. So I'll let the worker do his thing there. What else we got on the go at the moment? Oh, we need to get this barley. So I do have some left in this combine, I think. So we'll get this unloaded into our truck and trailer combo. Alright, and we will send this guy to the grain pool. So we've got a bit of a road train set up. So we're trying to transport bulk grain here. So I think we get about 90,000 litres, maybe 87,000, something like that. So it's pretty good way to get the crop around. This truck definitely makes life a bit easier, that's for sure. 750 horsepower definitely helps. Oh, what am I getting stuck on? The only problem is when it comes to overloading, it does take a little while. Because you've got to use tip side back, tip side front to get to the different compartments, rather than having just one hopper to empty. So if you just joined the stream, let me know if you can hear me. I did have some issues earlier with the first attempt of the stream, but we seem to be okay now. I am streaming from the PS5, so it can be a little bit problematic. Alright, that's the first trailer done, so let's pull forward. So let me guys know if you've been keeping up to date with the developments in the Farm Sim 25 news. I know FarmCon's on this weekend, so it'd be interesting to see what comes out of that. But there was a little bit of gameplay. God, this camera's a bit all over the place. Okay, let's try this. Got some gameplay previews of Riverbend Springs, which is the American map. People are already starting to call it Fog Simulator 2025. The fog does look pretty cool though. But I guess we'll see more potentially after this weekend anyway, which would be good. A little bit of rice farming got displayed as well, so that should be a cool addition to the game. Alright, let's go and check in on how our harvest is going. Whoa, hang on to it. Does have a tendency to jackknife this road train, I have noticed. Especially if you cut corners like that. Especially when there's not a lot of weight in it. So something to be aware of. Now I have had longer road trains than this before. On No Man's Land in particular. And used the Lizard Roadrunner. It's based on a Kenworth truck, I believe. Definitely makes carting a lot of grain very, very quick and easy. Right, so what we'll do is we'll just pull back up to our little holding area, and then I'm going to I'll grab the auger wagon, and we'll get that underway. Should be empty. Yeah, this guy just here. Yep, so we are empty. Right, let's head on over to our newly acquired wheat field and get this wheat up. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a bit of a bump in the player base between now and November. I'm sure we will. People will come back to the main title, I think. Or when I say main title, FS22. Get reaccustomed, etc. But the jury's still out, I think, a little bit on some of these features. I mean, it sounds promising, but whether or not it pans out to be fun in a gameplay sense, I mean, I'm sure it will be. Especially now that they've dropped PS5, not PS5, PS4, and the Xbox. So definitely interesting. Alright, we'll get this worker back underway in a second. How are our chickens looking? So they're definitely in need of some food. So let's grab a load of wheat. And we'll send these guys down to the chicken coops. What do we got? Wheat, barley. Do chickens eat barley? I think they do. So we had a pretty good barley harvest. What does it say? Wheat, barley, sorghum. Yep. So let's get some barley here. Go and feed this to the chickens. Chickens do eat barley. Thanks, Phil. Hey, how are you, bro? Good to see you on stream again. Anyone see the gameplay, the little FarmCon preview information that came out this week? Riverbend Springs is the new American map. I mean, it sounds accurate. It looks like it's based on the Mississippi River and sort of south sort of southeastern USA. So where all the bayous and river deltas are, which makes sense because apparently they do a lot of rice farming out that way. Not that I'm 100% up on American agriculture in that regard, but it does sound like it's got some cool features, that's for sure. I have started up the Let's Play back on this map in particular, so I've got a couple of episodes in the pipeline. One went out, I think, yesterday, and a few more sort of coming your way on a weekly basis. So I'm just going to try and ramp up video production between now and... Oop, don't go off the edge there. Basically when the new game's announced. Oh, I've got some food down here already, so that's handy. Oh, that guy... Has that guy got food in it? No food. Oh, hang on. Helps if I select the right trailer. That would be most helpful. So what's everyone doing? So it's a Friday evening here where I am. Just a bit of a quiet night in after a week of work. Although I did have the day off today, so I can't complain too much. I need to move this other trailer, so let's get that moved. I do like this field down here though, so I am going to turn it into a bigger combined field like I have back at the main farm. So I think the main farm, sort of over where we're looking now, I'm going to restore some of that eventually as a bit of a farm complex. So that's going to be... Is that guy full? So that's going to have a lot of our buildings and such. Where's the combine? Cool, doing alright. Let's grab this guy. Let's see if we can do an unload while we're in motion. GPS also got announced, so not that I'm really up to speed on GPS as a PC player, but okay, that was not really helpful, was it? Alright, I do want to try and get rid of some of these trees, so let's grab our lizard T-Rex. I know GPS is a big thing on PC. Course play and that sort of thing. Like, I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is. So if anybody's on PC who knows about GPS and all that sort of stuff, feel free to set the record straight in that regard. Let's make sure we're getting all this stump here. Now the reason why I'm getting rid of most of these trees is just basically to open up the map a little bit. Putting my kids to bed before jumping on the Xbox X on my quest to fill up on a 1,000 cow barn. Sounds like a mission. You're going to need a lot of silage and TMR for that endeavour. So is Xbox X, is that like the equivalent of PS4, or is that like the equivalent of PS5? I'd be interested to find that out. Because apparently a few people are blowing up about... Yes, indeed. Yeah. A few people in the community were blowing up about the fact that PS4 was not being supported anymore. Latest model. Oh, you're sweet then, Wedgetail. You won't have to worry about it. I mean, I don't know why people are getting so upset about it. Just was going to happen. And I know these next-gen consoles are a bit hard to come by initially. But the supply chain issues have sort of calmed down. Yes, it is a bit of a cost, but usually get about 7 years out of a console before they upgrade to a new version. Which, yeah, it's totally fine by me. Definitely far more affordable than a high-spec PC. I mean, I may check out... I've got a gaming laptop, which is pretty good, but I use that for editing. But I've always been a console gamer, so I just feel like it's just easier, more accessible. I don't need to worry about it. Just plug it in and go. Okay, I've got a stump here I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, I think I got it. Anybody going to FarmCon by any chance? I mean, it's a big call travelling to Europe to watch a presentation in German if you don't speak the language. I know the content creators, most of the main ones are there, and they'll get free tickets and what have you. Okay, yeah, this guy needs an empty. My laptop was 3x the cost of the Xbox, and I use it half as often. Yeah, well, there you go, case in point, right? Oh, should pay attention to my driving. Yeah, I think my laptop was, so I've got an what do you call it? It's not an Alienware, but it is a Dell. Not a Dell the singer, a Dell the laptop. But it's like it's underneath the Alienware spec, but twice the price of a PS5 at the time. How's the stream quality? Let me know if you're having any issues. Sell XPS. No, it's not quite. It's a G something, like a G15 or something like that. I did have an XPS desktop for a long time until it blew up. I actually turned it on one day and it just made this funny noise, and then that was it, dead. Right, I'm just going to whip around this little headland area and then next to the chicken coops, and then we'll carry on. So I think after this run of eggs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these chicken coops from out of this area. The central warehouse, I mean, I don't really want to move it, but it's kind of not really in a great spot. So I'll get half, hopefully half for what I paid for it. But we are sitting on 100,000 litres of bread, so we'll sell that in December. That'll give us a pretty good bump in cash. We've got eggs to sell in November, and then honey will be sold somewhere as well. So let me just check the best time to sell honey. I always forget. Yeah, so bread is December. Oop. Honey is, looks like I'm going to say March. So I've missed the boat on honey for this year, but I think I've already sold it coming up to March, so not the end of the world. Alright, let's carry on with our demolition of trees. Now I'm pretty sure I can delete this bridge too. Maybe that would be unwise because I wouldn't be able to cross this area very efficiently. Now in some areas I would keep the trees, but I'm basically just doing it to clear the view. And it does help the frame rate a little bit as well because there's less to render. But the map does look a little bit sort of sparse, so just personal preference. I like to get rid of the trees where I can, and I'll add them in where they make sense. Okay, cool. And it also just gives off a different vibe too. Like, most of the Midwestern farms in the US are basically just flat, hilly fields anyway. Not a tree in sight. One thing I did notice on the little preview that they put out was the tree models. So the landscaping and the tree models and the grass and all that sort of stuff looks far more authentic and realistic. Should prove to be quite immersive, I think. Oh, one thing I thought was cool is they had live animals at the animal dealer. So in the animal pens. which I thought was a nice touch. Right, can we get over here? So Wedgetail, what map are you trying to do the 1,000 cows on? Because that sounds like a bit of an endeavour. Okay. So definitely open out the area, that's for sure. I'm not going to interfere with this creek area too much. I'll keep the bushes and stuff. Just get rid of all these trees. Erlengrat. Oh yeah, I've got a dairy farm on Erlengrat too. I reckon that's probably up there with my favourite map. Yeah, grassland for sure. I just get a good vibe on it, and I think the layout's really good. Silver Forest is pretty good too. And this thing is defying the laws of gravity at the moment with that angle. What was that, like 45 degrees? 2,400 chickens. Ha! Got your hands full by the sounds of it. Yeah, my problem is I tend to go too big. So when I play, I always want to go bigger and bigger. And then it just ends up becoming like so much work. But I find that's the best way to make money, at least for me. Like rather than putting down income generators or a whole heap of solar panels. One thing I hope they do add to the next game is like some form of hardcore mode or some form of basically maximum difficulty where you can't turn the settings off. Because obviously currently you can change whatever settings you want to suit your playstyle. I think if they had a veteran mode where your ploughing was turned on, weeds were on, everything was required, that would force you to play that way, which I think would be a good constraint, particularly among content creators. And it'd probably add a little bit of a competitive angle too. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily need to be official, but I mean, whether they do it or not, that would be interesting. No header attached, of course not. Alright, let's flick back around and see if we can't grab this section of wheat here. I'm getting some delayed chat messages, so if the conversation seems a little bit out of order, that's why. Alright, let's do this headland just here. So this is a much more manageable harvest than the one we just did for the barley. That was huge. I'm also thinking I'm probably going to throw soybeans into the mix as well. So I think that'd be a good addition. Alright, cool. Back to our deforestation enterprise. Okay, just getting rid of that stump. All good. I remember doing this on Felsbrunn as well for FS19. So if you remember that map, there was a lot of trees that aligned, and even Hot Belleron to a lesser extent, does take a bit of manoeuvring to get those stumps sometimes. Usually got to listen for the animation. Well, not listen for the animation, but you can kind of see and hear the... There we go, so it's got it. Cool. Alright, definitely looks a bit different, doesn't it? Cruising through here like that. So I am going to just restore the grass section. So just through here, like that. So I was thinking of trying to build something on this land, just on this corner. I mean, it is not quite flat enough, but might be worth a look. Alright, how are we travelling? Bit to go still. Yeah, rename the map to Wheat Creek. Elm trees are disappearing. Yep. Definitely accurate. Alright, what are we going to plant? I was talking about that before. I should have probably been planting while I was... Oh yeah, we'll do barley, I think, in these two fields here. So what I'll do is I'm going to grab this guy, join up two of those fields. So one way I like to increase the yield is to increase the farmable land. Now you don't hear a lot of people talking about this strategy. I think it's because, yeah, people don't necessarily like joining fields. They like to keep the fields as is. But clearly you can see that I'm a little bit not so worried about that. But it's up to the individual at the end of the day. Right, so let's just go. So when you do this, you want to obviously stay away from the road as much as possible. Don't have access to this land. Oh, that's right, we sold it, didn't we? Can we buy it back? Because that'd be ideal if we can do that. How much is it worth? 177,000. Can we increase our loan? Always join fields and add wider grass headlands. It's a good way to go. So then we can have this entire section here. Alright, unfold the plough. Okay, lower plough, create fields. So we'll try and push it as close to the road as possible, but I usually like to leave, I don't know, about this much, just sort of eyeball it. Especially when you've got like objects over here on the left, like this little drain thing, like you can't necessarily get rid of it very easily. And then what I'll do is whip around this way. So I'll leave a little bit of area clear of those bushes. And then clear of this bridge. So it looks like our worker has run out of... It was probably full again, so let's go and get unloaded. I love this tractor and grain cart combination though. 9R with the dual wheels. Big grain cart. I'm going to use the mother bin as well at some point. Used that quite a bit before. Okay, where's our... Okay, let's continue. Right, I'll just taper that off. Sort of just through there. Just for now. I'll come back and realign that later. And then let's go ahead and join this section. Now hopefully that worker will... Yep, so that worker is carrying on with the job. Now I'll probably be streaming for about an hour, I think, tonight. Just to sort of see how it goes. Okay, we'll just go to about there. So obviously with the plan to join all these fields up, we'll eventually get there. It's just going to take a little bit of time to... Yeah, leaving plenty of room. That's the challenge I find. It's not too bad when you do the headland yourself, I find. Like the workers, as long as you give them enough room to turn around, it's not an issue. So that's one thing I've been doing quite a bit lately, is doing a lap around the field manually and then sending them off on their way. So I'll just sort of eyeball this. The reason I don't go too close to the road is just because the painting texture, if you ever wanted to reinstate the field sort of layout, doesn't always work. Now I am getting rid of red beets. I'm not really interested in the red beets at the moment. Take too long to harvest and don't really fit into our product mix currently. But this field is going to be pretty good when it's finished. Might actually be the biggest field. Well, it'd definitely be the biggest field so far. In Wheat Creek, as it were. Definitely accurate. Alright, let's get this folded and get this off the field. I feel like this thing's about to take off half the time that it folds and unfolds. Okay, we'll just leave him there for the moment. This guy is just about full. This guy's got a little bit left, so we'll go and unload the remainder. And we'll go and park up. Might just leave the combine down here for the moment. Alright, park him there. This guy will go and unload into the truck. So our little road train setup. So actually I'm going to send this guy over on a worker if I can. See if that'll work. Alright, I think we're okay to move forward. Let's just check used vehicles again. Let's check our crop calendar. So I think we're going to go... We'll probably go wheat or barley in September in the fields we just ploughed, and then we're going to come back in March and sort out that oat. we've got a whole bunch of bread to sell and some honey to sell later. So let's hit the hay, as they say. Alright, August. Okay, we're just going to double check here. Yep, so we're going to just move into September. No used vehicles that are interesting at the moment. I just want to make sure I'm not losing money each month, because that'd be unfortunate if we went broke. $40,000 property income. So it looks like we're covering our costs, so that's all I'm worried about. Ooh, John Deere 8RX. Interesting. Okay. We need to go plant, so let's grab our... So we need... What do we need? We need this guy. And we'll grab the big Bergolt seeder, so this should get that area done pretty quickly. Now, I don't think there's any penalties for planting in the wet. I mean, there could be in real life, but we should be okay. We should have enough seed on board as well. Alright, let's cruise down the main road here. I did turn traffic off as well, just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Especially getting this big seeder around. Now I do have two smaller ones, the Kuhn Espero, I think they're 6 metre seeders. I think this is the way to go. Alright, we are going to go and do, let's go wheat again. Okay, get this guy unfolded. Okay, without trying to cause... Oh, I'm stuck on a signpost, that's what that was. Stuck on a signpost again. Okay, that should do it. Okay, a little bit of a manoeuvre to get it in position, but we're there. Alright, turn on seeder, lower seeder. And we should be... Just double check we're actually going in okay. Yep. Alright, we're away. So I'm pretty sure this is the biggest direct drill in game. Can't remember the working width. It's 20 meters or something. Might be 30. Still pretty wide. Like, gets a lot done in a short period, that's for sure. So this field shouldn't take too long. Okay, let's make sure we're not going to clip this bridge. I mean, one thing I'd like to see in the new game, FS25, is more variability in seeding and planting. So rather than just using... That's ridiculous, I want it. Yeah, it's a mod, so it's an official Giants mod. So it does work pretty reliably. So not a DLC. I can't remember when it came out actually. It was pretty much, it would have been fairly early in the piece. I don't see a lot of people using it, so I'd like to give it a good run. And it's got huge capacity, so it's just perfect. It's perfect for these sorts of fields. Excuse me. Pretty cool animation and all the rest of it. Bit hard to drive in that view, but you get the idea. Seen the aircut used a bit, but that's cool. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely on the larger side. I think it might be 30 meters, eh? So it's definitely up there. All right, this is going to be lap number 2. So let's get ourselves aligned here. Now I think I am overlapping probably way too much here, but I reckon I'm going to attempt to try and send this guy off on a worker shortly. So probably from, I would say, if we've got a heading of 180 degrees, or thereabouts. Should be able to get to the end here and then turn around in this area. So let's see if he can make it. Okay, so it has missed a little bit. So we'll come back and sort that out later. Alright, let's see if we can unload some of this food. And I just want to check on how the stockpile of product is going. So we have got... So bread production's obviously stalled. Eggs, 38,000. Strawberries, so that's obviously when I had greenhouses. I mean, canola oil would be a good one to add because we can farm canola. So we might do that as well. But yeah, bread flour at the moment they're the main products. Mostly bread. And obviously eggs as well, so because we can facilitate that pretty comfortably. Where's our JCB? I'm going to grab one of these Quinespero seeders. So let's grab this guy. And I'm just going to whip around and do the bits that the Bergolt has missed. Okay, first day of my new license. Okay, so we want wheat. Is that wheat? Yep. Oh, we're getting a few people on the stream now. Alright, so I'm going to whip through, do this little headland area. Geez, look at the size difference. So turn seeder on, lower the seeder. Definitely get the comparison right. Such a small seeder in comparison, eh? Wow. Alright, you should be able to make the turn here, no problem. Okay, that is done. As I get close to the chicken coops, that might be a problem, but so far so good. Okay, turn cedar on, lower the cedar. Alright, not a bad effort. Okay, let's quickly run up here, see if there's anything missing. I think we're okay. One more pass and we should be done. Oh yeah, we're missing this section here, so let's get this done. Okay, good if I so turn it on. Do I lower it? Yep. Let's try this again. So it looks like we've got one more section over there to take care of. So I'll probably just whip around in this one and take care of that. Just be a little bit easier than trying to manage the big air cart. Cool. Right, let's go check it out. Oh, there's a little patch of green here. Okay, I think we're all sorted. Cool. Right, let's get off the field. We'll go and sleep for another day. That'll take us up to, what are we, September, October. Okay, cool. It's just trying to do that corner that I missed on purpose. Don't mind my driving here. Oop, we're going to get through? Yeah, we're right. Now I did give one of these tractors a wash too. Might have been this one. I've used it since then, but is looking a tad cleaner. And we are probably due to get a seed and fertilizer refill soon. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and sleep. We'll double check these vehicles before we hit the sleep trigger. But we should be pretty close to where we need to be. Oh yeah, we had the 8RX we were keen on, but a little bit short on cash there, so let's just move forward. There's our property income looking. 30,000, still not too bad. Or October. Okay, cool. Alright, so we've got the wheat in that we wanted. So now we're basically just going to have to sleep until March. Okay, so October. Just double check our pricing plan. So November is when we're going to sell the eggs. Yep, and then bread was December. Bread was December. Okay, cool. Alright, so we are going to pass through till November. We'll get another layer of fertilizer down on the newly planted wheat. So we'll do that while we're delivering the eggs. Okay, cool. So where is our... Yeah, this is the one we want. Please start the engine. Good advice. It's a little bit dark, but we won't be here for long. We'll get back to some better conditions shortly. Right, send this guy off basically just from here, so I'm not too worried about the overlap. Grab our truck, wherever that is, and this guy here. So I've left the propy line down this way. Yeah, it's got some acceleration on this thing, eh? Okay, let's try this again. Now I do have space here for a building, so I'll put this little hard stand in with a view to turn that into something else soon. Okay, got our lights on, we're all good. Alright, let's head down to the central warehouse, get this guy loaded up, and we'll go from there. So with the central warehouse, you got to use the correct trailer, so the propy liner with the auto load. So it basically comes as part of the mod. You basically just back up to this little section here, and then you can fill with what you want. So we're doing eggs for November. Checking out our fertilisation. Make sure we are getting what we need. So 100% fertilised. Okay, we're already getting the fertiliser bonus, so maybe we don't even need to worry about fertilising. Okay, so let's cancel that guy. Double check our fertilisation map actually. It's because we ploughed that crop in, that'll be why. So I'm going to send him down from about probably the edge of field 40, which is about here. So that's got 50% yield. That's now got 100%. Cool. Alright, eggs are loaded. Let's go to... Usually the fast food restaurant's got the best deal, so we'll go and... I think we'll go and sell there. I'll just double check that, but usually that's where it's at. Okay, November, central warehouse, industrial bakery, fast food restaurant, yeah. Close enough. So we'll get 2 loads of eggs in, not quite 2 full loads, but that's because we're not monitoring our egg feeding, or chicken feeding as much as we should. So I'll probably need to pay a bit more attention to that. I wish this loading area was a little bit more accessible, but make it work. Right, let's see how much we get. Probably about 120,000, if my math is 138. I was close, wasn't I? Alright, head on back to central warehouse. We'll get another load of eggs, and then we're going to sleep, and then we're going to do the same for the bread. So we should get 3 loads of bread, or 2 full loads and 1 half load, I think. Actually no, we should get 3 full loads. So 33,000 litres per load, with 3 loads of bread, which will leave us 1,000 litres short, which is not too bad because it's a 100,000 litre capacity. So we should get a fairly chunky payday. Ooh, hang on to it. So normally in my Let's Plays I'd be time-lapsing this, so you can kind of get a feel for what the real-time version looks like. Alright, not quite a full load, but we'll go and send it anyway so we get maximum price because we do need the money. I think the bread's going to be where it's at. Not as valuable as the eggs. I mean, eggs did get a nerf pretty early on. Yeah, forklift simulator. Isn't it like that, eh? Especially initially for me. Man, so many pallets. That's why I love this mod so much, because it basically centralizes your logistical operations. I mean, if they don't have something like this in FS25, I'll be disappointed. I mean, even if they balance it so, you know, you got to pay a fee or whatever, like an expensive outlay to get the building and what have you, just the productivity gains and the enjoyment factor, it's just so much more enjoyable than stacking pallets. I mean, some people love doing that, but that's not me, that's for sure. Alright, so that's all our eggs sold. So let's get... I'll send this guy back on a worker for now. Did 500,000 in eggs last night. Yeah, that's a lot of eggs. How many chickens did you say you had? 2,600? I mean, I can see why. Alright. Let's go and sleep. Get into December, and then we'll go sell this bread. Hopefully the rain stops, that'd be handy. 24, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. Have you got that big 5,000 chicken capacity barn? Seeing pallets in my sleep, yeah. It gets like that. When I first started playing FS19, soybeans, I was seeing soybeans in my sleep because that's pretty much all I used to farm. I'm going to speed up time just a little bit so we can get a bit more daylight. Long barns. Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. Alright, that's probably sufficient. Okay, where is this guy? That's the one we want. One thing they did announce about Riverbend Springs was the fact that it had a long straight road, so American style, which I think is pretty cool. While we're here, let's go and feed these chickens. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to get rid of these chicken coops, and I'm going to go probably for the 5,000 capacity long barn and try and automate the eggs out of that one. So I'm going to leave this trailer here, and I'll utilise what we've got already in position. And I've got a bit of an auto feeding setup that I've trialled. I think it might have been on Hot Bella On, so my start from scratch playthrough, which is basically turned into a bit of a time-lapse series for the moment. Because the old video production does take quite a while. Okay, cool. Looking good. Alright, let's go and park up. That bread should be loaded. Alright. Now, where's the best location to sell this bread? Okay, Grocery Mart. Johnson's Farmers Market. Yeah, we'll just go Grocery Mart, which is literally just over there. I'd love if you could get this Profi liner in a B-double configuration, so either two semi-trailers or a half semi-trailer on the back. I don't know what they call them in other parts of the world, like lorries, prime movers, trucks, semis. Depends where you are, I guess. Let me know in the chat below if you know what they're called elsewhere in the world. Alright, where is the... Yep, just here. $5,000, so should be a fair chunk of coin here. Cheers, Wedgetail. Thanks for dropping by. Catch you later. So, a good payday. 180,000. So that was more than the eggs, eh? I think. So the eggs were like what was it? 4,100. So 180,000 per load for the bread so far. So that is going to be once we do all 3 of these loads, that's going to be pretty substantial. Oh, hang on to it. Alright, well that's probably about time for the stream, so I was going to allow for about an hour, so it's been about an hour and 10, about an hour and 11 minutes. So looking to do these more regularly, usually on a Friday evening where I am, so not quite sure what time that's going to be in other parts of the world, but if you can make it leading up to the new game, I'm going to be doing this, try and do this regularly, just talk about what's happening in the community, as news develops and comes through for the game. I think it'd be worthwhile. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.